Hello, everyone. This is Old Bear with Old Bear's Den of Bigfoot. Tonight, we are going to give you a story of a Bigfoot in Tennessee. This story starts on a weekend night a couple of months ago. Well, not even a couple of months. Come to think of it, it happened less than a month ago. Now, in this story, the man has been out with his buddies coon hunting, and he lives around, of all places, Nashville, Tennessee. He came home, was on his way home. He'd been out hunting, like I said, with his buddies, just running their dogs. Uh, then around midnight, he decided to go home, and the rest of the guys were still coon hunting. And they decided to split up, and he went home. And on his way home, he was driving up the road that goes to his subdivision that's just outside of Nashville. On his way, he passes one subdivision on the right, and then he passes one on the left, and he's still on his way home to get into his subdivision. And in between the subdivisions, there's quite a few bit of woods, on the left and right, between the one on the right and the one on the left. And right before he gets to his subdivision, he's, like I said, it's probably 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. And he had his high beams on, he said, and he decided that he flipped up his high beams because he's got a problem. They got quite a few deer in that area, and they tend to cross the road in front of you. And so he had his high beams on him, making sure he couldn't see any deer, eyes or anything like that. And he notices something standing in the road and sees a white belly of a deer. So he starts slowing down, thinking it's a deer laying there in the road or something. He'll get up and move. And well, the closer he gets, the object that's standing up is taller, and the deer ain't really laying in the road. And how they got their legs folded underneath of them or whatever. But this deer isn't. Its belly's clearly visible. He can see the white patches on the legs of what little bit of white hair he can see. So he slows down, gets closer, gets within probably 30, 40 feet of this thing. He's got his high beams on, and he says it's clearly is something that looks like a man, but with hair covering it. And he said it was probably close to 9 foot tall. And this thing has the deer by the throat, and it's dragging the deer. It's just holding the deer by the throat and standing there in the middle of the road. It turns and looks at him and just stands there and just kind of looks at him. And he said that he tried honking the horn, and the thing would just angle its head a different way, and it was anyway, the thing would angle its head a different way. When he honked the horn, he honked it 2 or 3 times trying to get this thing to move out of the road, and it just kind of stood there and just kind of looked down at the truck or that he was in, and it wouldn't move. So he tried everything he could to get it to move, and it wouldn't move. Because he said he wasn't going to get out of the truck because this thing was so big. He described the face. It looked like it had black eyes, squished nose, like you take your nose and just squish it on your face. Said it had a human face, that it had like a beard that hung down from his chin and around his jawline. And it was of a either a black or a very dark, dirty brown color. And the color of the skin was like a chocolate, not a milk chocolate, but a dark chocolate. And he said the thing just finally just turned, faced the opposite side of the road, and just took one big step and was off the blacktop because it was standing in the middle. Took one big step, another big step, and it was up into the wood line. And when it crossed the ditch, it just picked the deer up with one arm and carried it right in the woods with it. At this point, he floors it, goes to his house, gets home, turns his truck off, and he said gladly his wife had left the lights on for him because he'd been out many a times with his buddies and going coon hunting and stuff like that, and I got home till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and his wife left the lights on for him. But anyway, this night she left them on, and he went in, ran up there, unlocked the front door, got in his front door, ran upstairs to the bedroom, grabbed his shotgun, loaded it, and grabbed the handgun that he has there in the nightstand next to the bed. Runs back downstairs. All this commotion wakes his wife up, and she's asking, what are you doing? Why you got the shotgun out? Why you got the handgun out? Why you doing this? Why? And he's sitting down there, and he looks at his wife and says, honey, I just saw a Bigfoot. And she said, you saw a what? I saw a Bigfoot. That's all I can tell you, is it was a Bigfoot. You know, those things they try to find on Finding Bigfoot, the shows and everything, and she's starting to crack a smile, and she just kind of laughs at him. And he's sitting there looking at her, and he's white as a sheet. His wife told him he was white as a sheet. Looked like he'd seen a ghost or something, and she said, you must be real sleepy because your eyes are playing tricks on you, and she didn't believe him. Well, anyway, he goes to bed. She goes back to bed, and she wakes up, he said probably around 7 o'clock on Sunday morning. Comes downstairs. He's still sitting there with the shotgun and handgun in his hand, and still scared to death, still white as a sheet. And his wife sits down and says, what is wrong? And he explains to her what happened, and told her that it scared him. He didn't know if the thing would follow him home or whatever. So he decided to stay awake. Finally, he told his wife he was so tired he couldn't keep his eyes open anymore. And this was probably 8 o'clock after he talked to his wife for about an hour. And he fell asleep there in the chair. And when he woke up, evidently he had a nightmare about the Bigfoot. Woke up screaming, and his wife was starting to believe what he was saying because he kept saying the same thing over and over again. This thing was standing in the middle of the road holding the deer by the throat. The deer was dead. Its head was pointed upwards instead of downwards like it should have been. So evidently the Bigfoot had broke its neck and was dragging it, taking it back to wherever he stayed and slept or whatever. Or if there was other Bigfoot in his clan, or if there was a female and other males or whatever. So the guy has not seen any more, but here's the thing. When it gets dark, he's in the house, and his wife is in the house, They've not had anything happen at their home because, like I said, they live in a subdivision, so there's dogs and everything else in the neighborhood. But their house is next to the wood line, and they've not had anything happen at their house. But the strange thing is in their neighborhood that the trash cans are starting to the lids are taking off of the plastic garbage cans. Some of them are just a flip up tight, and some have the lid, you pull off. And they've been noticing that some of them are starting to get turned over. And they wonder if maybe a Bigfoot's coming in to their neighborhood now. So they don't know what to do. But he does know now that there are these creatures that we call Bigfoot. And here in the state of West Virginia, where I'm from, we call them Yahoo. And there's many names for them, but they're out there, people. So be careful if you go out at night. You never know, you might run into one. Hey, you might even run into one while you're out deer hunting or something this fall. So just, if you do run into one, send me an email. My email is on my website, on my channel. Send it to me, and I will tell your story on here. We'll leave your name out of it. And if you like the video, subscribe and hit the like button on there. And y'all have a wonderful night. And we'll bring you the next story next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.